Here we go, it's WolleFest Day. Been looking forward to this for months. I'm leaving the house wearing my hexie cardi, my little denim dress. I put a long sleeve t-shirt underneath because it's getting cold here in Germany. And yeah, I'm planning to shop. I have my giant shambles bag, custom made shambles bag. I feel so special. I love using this bag. It's got the German flag on one side and the Canada flag on the other. I don't think she's making them anymore. I think she has fully embraced the art side, but Shambles was a bag company by Deborah Allen, on Deborah K. Allen Art. Yeah, awesome stuff. Anyway, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can get the stick to, that's the outfit. I have shoes that match. Little denim, brown leather. So, anyway, I put the long sleeve t-shirt under the dress, which I have, it's a Temu dress. It's a Temu dress, and I have it in like 6 colors because it's my favorite. It has huge pockets, and it's so comfortable and fits so nice. And it's, you know, Temu, so not expensive. To go with my Temu yarn hexie, all done, maybe. Still thinking about putting a zipper on it. Waiting for my mom to come down. She's gonna wear, oh, bye-bye lights, my gray cashmere scarf because, yeah, I think her sweater would have been done when I was in Croatia, except I ran out of yarn. Yeah, you probably know this if you watched Whipping It Up Wednesday. But yeah, I ran out of yarn, so she didn't have anything handmade to wear, so she's gonna borrow my scarf. Because Fiberfest, you wanna wear something. Okay, getting in the car, going, stopping at the bank machine. So here we are, ready to go in. We had to line up for a long time to pay for parking, but it actually doesn't seem so crowded. We're here on the Sunday morning, so maybe it'll be a little calmer, a little gentler than yesterday, the first day. And yeah, let's go look at some yarn. I bet you were expecting to see yarn, weren't you? Surprise, it's me. No, I just wanted to say a little bit about how I plan to do the vlog. This is my first yarn festival vlog, so guys, can you fight later? This is also why I am in the dining room and not my office, is because after a full day in the car coming back to Croatia, the dogs need to be out. And supervised. Shushies. 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 Yeah, baby. Yeah. What? You are not the star of the show. That's Grammy. Okay. They're gonna take over. I'll see how this works. But let me tell you how I decided to go about it, because there seems to be lots of different ways that people do this, and I'm gonna do it my way because that's how I tend to do things. I did not get to film every shop. I only asked yarn shops if I could film. There were
some lovely fabrics, other things going on. There was a nettles workshop that was taking place, and all kinds of interesting things and booths and that. But this is a yarn channel, so I focused on the yarn vendors. That seems to make sense to me. And I also stayed away from commercial yarns, partially because those booths were extremely difficult to get close to. There was one lady that was selling Manos del Uruguay. I mean, I touched the yarn like this through people. One skein. That. And, you know, I wasn't there for just like half an hour or something. I spent almost 6 hours at WolleFest, and I just couldn't get near it. But also I'm thinking commercial, this is stuff you can see in lots of places, or if we go to yarn stores or that. So I wanted to really focus on sort of the artisanal yarns and the hand dyers and the bauble makers and all that good stuff. So that is why I have focused only on certain vendors. And what I've decided to do is show you the vendors, and then if I bought from that store, show you my haul from that store. I bought from a lot of stores. But I'm going to start with the ones that I did not buy from. And because I'm not highlighting them in the same way that I am from when I have actual product to show you from the stores. And I'm going to tell you for each one why I didn't buy from them. And there are a couple which it's just, I ran out of money. I went in with a budget, and I brought that budget in cash. And I brought my mother with me to stand in for my husband to say, do you have any cash left? Then no, you can't buy it. I'm like, dang, I should have come by myself. Because I did find that most people also accepted all kinds of cards and that as well. But that was sort of my controls. I know that some people, when they go to a wool festival, they have something in mind that they're looking for. They have particular projects. That's not how I craft. I start with the yarn, and then I let the yarn, I sound so hippy-dippy, speak to me about what it wants to be. And so there are times where I have an idea in my mind, and then I'll go to my shopping stash and see if I have something in it that works for that project. And if I don't, then I do go shopping for that yarn. But that, I do not enjoy that process as much as when it starts with the yarn and then the ideas flow from that. So that's just me, but it does make for a much more chaotic sort of wool festival experience. So if you can do it the other way, I would recommend that. But my way was fun too. It did mean I did a lot of this. Ooh, this one, no, that one, no, this one, no, that one, no, oh. And I did use my card for a little bit, but I had agreed with my husband that if there was like, don't take the couch, baby. Teenage dogs. I mean, teenage in dog years, not in actual years. They're like 1.5 years old. Now I'm distracted. I'm thinking about my puppies and when we picked them up and totally lost it. But yeah, so that's what I did. I went in with a certain budget and wanted to sort of get to know some of the local, i.e. German, offerings and that. because I live here. So if I did make a lot of mental notes. I took a lot of pictures. There's an alpaca store, alpaca Meterstoff Hanna. Is that Hanna? You'll see it in a minute. Where I was like, I'm definitely going to buy from this store. But I think what I want there is one of sort of their sweater quantity cones, and they're 100 euros on its own. So there I did want to figure out, okay, what's alpaca, yeah. So I made a mental note. I not only took video of the cones that I'm considering and the colors, but I took pictures too and followed them on Instagram. And so it's not that there was anything about those stores that I didn't want. In fact, there was something in each of these stores that was on my list, and I just overspent before I got there. Or I had decided, yes, I want this, but I want it in such a quantity, you know, it was a larger project kind of quantity that I wanted, that it was better to sort of save and plan that budget for that for the future. And I think a lot of these vendors will be at, what is it? Leipziger WolleFest, something along those lines, around Easter, and so what? Mental note, last time I film with loose dogs. Lots of edits, lots of edits. Anyway, so that is that. I'm very excited about this. One of my absolute favorites was there, who you have heard about so much on this channel, Zauberhaus Wolle. I'm saving her for last. So, Vanessa, if you're watching, wait, you're in it. You're in the end, because I don't want to say I'll save the best for last, because I have a couple of new favorites, but she has a special place in my heart. One of the very first yarn hauls I did was from Zauberhaus Wolle, and I have her baubles up in my office basically as art, and some of them I probably will never touch. I will just keep them as art pieces because I love them so much. But also a new favorite, feta garn. It was like, I walked into that booth and I touched everything, and it was like, this woman dies from reading my soul. The colors were in my palette, the softness, like one base after another was just like, oh, it's so soft. It's so soft. And you guys know, one of the most important things for me is soft. Anyway, these are all to come, and you're like, stop talking and show us the yarn. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to do a little montage of the stores that I did not purchase from, and probably give you like my reason or little arrow going, this is the one that I'm gonna, this is on the list. This is in my future. I just smacked myself in the face. Oh, Welcome to my channel. It's always like this. I'd like to say it's not, but yeah, it is. It's always like this. Yeah. And then the ones I bought from, I will, I'll show you the store, and then I will show you my haul. Some are smaller, some are bigger, some are, but it was a great day. It was a great day. I should say very accessible. The parking lot was just across the street. Everything was flat. Everything in the building was accessible. Good food options, reasonably priced food as well. The coffee was hot, which was important. It was a chilly day. Good, large washroom facilities, even for women. There was never a lineup. Very, very good in that way. So well run, well organized, good logistics. Good job, WolleFest. Okay, let's go look at yarn. puppy's down for a nap behind that closed door. So hopefully this will work a little better. Yeah, so I really like this shop, as you could see. Mom also really liked this shop. She basically picked that green colorway in 2 different bases. Though I didn't get this on camera, but I said, okay, I'll get you one. And she was like, no, you have to stop making me things. I'm going to die soon. I'm like, mother, that's not what I need to hear in the middle of WolleFest. But she's 86 now and she's going to live forever. So great. So I went back to the shop for that blue colorway that's called Jeans. It's really pretty, and I just thought it would make like a great sort of wrap around, or that I can tie around on days when it's colder, and very sort of like everyday kind of wear, like a good pair of jeans. But I really wanted a wool-based bauble because all of my baubles are cotton acrylic blends or 100% cotton. And I just wanted a wool one. In a couple of weeks, you will see my Italy yarn crawl vlog haul thing. And that was the first time that I had really seen like a classic bauble in wool, and I didn't buy those ones either. Spoiler alert, you do see them in cakes. Don't get me wrong, you see wool in cakes, but not in the classic bauble. And you're going, okay, what's the difference between a cake and a bauble? Everybody wants to know. Baubles are unplied. They're plied. So the plies are left as individual strands and not spun together. So on the bauble I bought, I'm not going to show it to you yet. Is it my face? Get rid of my face. Anyway, there are 3 or 4 loose threads, which is why often when you buy a bauble and you get a center pull, that center pull looks like a little charm and you think, oh, that's charming. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out now. But there's a reason for that, especially if you're new to working with baubles. Some people like to thread the threads through the whole of the charm to help hold them together as they're working. I don't myself. I don't like anything extra on the yarn or in the movement of the yarn. It's just a personal thing, but some do find that very helpful. So that's the difference between a bauble and a cake. They are the same form. It has to do with the way the yarn is formed. So I was very disappointed. And I have so many baubles, like so many, because there are so many beautiful ones. I really like to make shawls, which baubles are fantastic for a nice drapey shawl. They turn out so pretty, especially if you're doing lace work, especially crocheted lace work, which I tend to prefer in a shawl, at least at this phase of life. So I really wanted wool. So I sort of checked that off my list. Plus I hadn't visited Zaubermauswolle yet, and those are my favorite baubles. Those are my favorite baubles. So I didn't want to just pick something. I was tempted by the rainbow, where you saw the scarf made up at the end, but for what I liked, or the projects that I have in mind for rainbow, the color changes were just too quick for the projects that I wanted to, or that I had in mind to make with it. But then I was perusing the reduced table, which I don't think I got footage of. I was really, really trying to be respectful of people who were shopping and the business owners, because I didn't want anybody to not buy something or not see something because I got in the way. So I think when I was filming, there were people shopping the bargain reduced table, and so I didn't end up filming it. But I just assumed that they were the cotton acrylic blends, and I touched one and I went, maybe that's something else. And it was. There were several that were wool polyacrylic blend, and I found one that I liked quite a bit. It's also blue. I do not have a particular plan for it, but if you've been around for a while, that shows you the colors maybe a little bit better that side. If you've been around for a while, you know, of the 7 kids, 4 of them currently have blue as their favorite color. I wear a lot of blue. It's always a safe bet. If I don't know what I'm gonna make with something, go with a blue, and that will work out very well. So this is, I paid 10 euros for this, by the way. And I think the merinos were in the 20 range. The reduced table was quite a reduction. And this is one of the most reduced ones I saw there. It wasn't why I bought it. I bought it for the colors, but hey, if it's gonna be extra specially cheap, then great. So it's 50% merino, 50% polyacrylic, 1,000 meters, 200 grams. It is a 3-ply, so there are 3 threads to work with. They're recommending a needle size of a 3 to a 4, and I don't know if that's size or millimeters. In Germany, I would think it was millimeters. It is made in Germany, and it's hand wash. So that was my one and only purchase from this store. There's the little center pull charm that you see. And it's in English, so should come home with me. I did find I can communicate in German, and so that was fine, but I had my mother with me who does not speak German. Danke is about as much as she has, and most of the time it comes out messy. This is, you know, being from Canada, if we're reaching for a language other than English, French tends to come out, and that used to happen to me all the time. But now when I'm in France trying to speak French, which I used to be fluent in, German pops out. So I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, she only speaks English, and she still managed to chat with a lot of people. She was off on her own half the time. I'd turn around looking for her, and she was off chatting to somebody or that. So if you are considering going to one of the WolleFests, because they do tour around the country, and so they're in various cities on various dates, and if you are here as a tourist and wanted to take some hours on the Saturday or Sunday to go to a WolleFest, but you're worried about the German, you would be fine. I think you would be fine. So that is purchase number 1. Let's go to the next stop. Shop. I think I should start by saying I think there was a second whole half to this shop that I didn't realize was connected and was full of more commercial yarns. And in some ways, what I bought is not fair to the shop because I bought a commercial yarn. But I don't know if you have seen a couple of months old now, Queensland collection release of their sort of rainbow cakes. They had sort of a neutral color and then all the colors of the rainbow through it. And for a while, I was obsessed with trying to get the black version of those cakes. And when they were first released, they seemed to sell out of shops like within 10 minutes of getting them in. And they were super expensive, like 40, 50 euros a cake. And for what I was looking to do, I needed 2. So it was not a small investment. And then on the end of this table, this is the same thing, except now having seen the Queensland collection one and felt it somewhere else later and just decided that at that time I did not have the money for it. This is so much softer. It is. It's so much softer. I am really, really pleased with this purchase. And I purchased it when I was finished filming. And I think it was discovering this and being so excited about it that made me mess up and not get the second half of her shop. And yeah, my plan was to film. And we would sit down, have lunch, and sort of discuss. I grabbed it. And I debated one or two. The project that I was thinking of making, I have since done something else and used different yarn. And the other project that I was considering, I would need a considerable amount of these cakes. And it's really not the right project, but I do have my eye on a very expensive hand-dyed yarn from Canada, from Tangled Poets. When they have dyed more, I will buy 2 sets of it and be bankrupt. It's about 6 months worth of my yarn budget, but worth it. It's a special project, and I hope to be able to tell you about it in the not too distant future. But maybe after I've recovered some of my yarn budget from having been at WolleFest. So this is online, which is, it sounds like I'm saying that the video is online. It's not. The brand name of the yarn is online. It's a fairly well-known brand here in Europe. And the line in the brand is called Cyclone color. It's 200 grams. It's 50% cotton, 50% polyacrylic. Wonderfully soft. 800 meters. So perfect for doing a shawl. Just perfect for that. I'd say it's about a sport weight. Yeah. And they're recommending 3 to 3.5 knitting needles. If I am doing sort of a lacy drapey shawl, I will use a bigger crochet hook than that. They say on it, 1 ball makes 1 triangle shawl. Ein Knoddel equals a Dreiecktuch, which means triangle shawl. Dreiecktuch. Wash at 30 degrees, don't put it in the dryer, lie it flat. I will see. It's Oikotech. So I think the gauge is 22 stitches by 39 rows. If you know more about this than I do, I never have paid attention to these things with crochet, but I know they're vitally important with knit. So, yeah, this is color number 1. It's sort of the white. It's not a true white though. It's like a cream white. And yeah, there was also like blues and beige. Where I got beige from when I was trying to say gray, a couple of shades of gray, I think. And then there was a more like, it wasn't even completely the rainbow colors, but a more pastel version. But I wanted true rainbow. I would have liked black because I like my black pops with the rainbow, but I decided that this was probably best for me. Right now I have 2 boys obsessed with the rainbow, and I thought they might like it if Mommy wore a rainbow scarf, shawl, decorative piece, because Mommy tends to wear a lot of all black and then throw on a pop of color. Oh, sorry. Not a strip show. It's not that kind of video. Sorry. That's what you're looking for. Wrong channel. But, you know, like I do with this pink sweater that I'm like, oh, all black. Okay, I'll grab the pink sweater. I just hit myself in the face again. It's going to be that kind of video. It's going to be that kind of video. Okay, it's really soft and squishy. I'm really, really pleased with this purchase, even if it wasn't sort of one of their makes, their unique makes. So I was still excited by it. Let's go to the next place and see Sonia and her mother, who are lovely, lovely people. And we talked their ears off, both my mother and I. Let's go see her shop. So Stardust Spinnerai is based in Allgäu, which is near the Austrian border. Actually, a place we like to go to as Center Parks and holiday as family. So I spent a long time talking to Sonia, the dyer-in-chief there. And is just a lovely, lovely person. And this is what she's doing full time now. She's been dying for 8 years, but has just made it like full time since March. So it was really great to be able to support her venture, especially because I wanted the yarn, and it wasn't just trying to support a small business owner, but like I actually wanted the product and enjoyed the product too. So one of the things that she said that I thought was really important is that she does a lot of research into her bases before she decides to dye on them. She wants to know all about how the animals were treated, how the yarn is processed, all of that stuff to really make it sort of ethical, ecological. And I thought that was really a great commitment. And then she said something that was so vital to me, if you know me at all. Softness is one of her deciding factors. Once she's found the ethical basis, she then chooses her bases based on softness. And I was like, woman after my own heart. I spent so long here trying to decide what to purchase. And this is the one I was really going, this one, no, this one, no, this one. On the video, I said, this one is on my list. It was in my hands for, a good 20 minutes. And Mom was a little bit like, why? I'm like, well, I thought it would be a really nice scarf and it's neutral colors. And I was looking at the black and white one. But also when I was there was a woman sort of trying to buy a sweaters quantity, and I didn't want to stop her from doing that. And I think she needed most of the skeins that were there. And I just decided I will see them again in Leipzig at Easter, and maybe that will come home with me then. Also, I really, really wanted at least one skein of her camel silk. And I must have held up just about every color to my face. And both Sonia and Mom were like, not that one. Not that one. No, that washes you out. I really need a very like vivid, saturated color, sort of jewel tones, these kinds of things. Despite the fact that if you actually do the colors from that summer, winter, that I come across as a summer, and absolutely not. Like, I cannot wear pastels. I look like a ghost. So I break all the rules. I've been doing it since I was born, I think. So anyway, there just wasn't one that we could say, yeah, that works for you. And it's such a lovely yarn, but it's also an investment. It's like, I don't know, 35 euros a skein. And I think it's worth it. So I said to her, please dye some deeper colors, more saturated colors for Leipzig. And she's like, I know, but getting that, and if you know anything about dyeing, silk is just a nasty little bugger when it comes to taking dye. And so it is really, really hard to get sort of those deep saturated jewel tones on some of these bases. And I have my fingers crossed. But I do love the things I got, even right up until the last minute. I was even checking out as I was paying. And then I just went whoop, and pulled another skein in. This one here. In fact, it was sitting there right beside me and I just whooped it. If you've been around a while, you're going to have noticed a theme. I like beach colors. And anything that sort of seems beachy, I don't know. That's it. If I had a beach house, this is what it would look like inside. So this is her merino silk sock based. If you know me at all, you know that silk is my second favorite fiber, right after. Are you guessing? Or do you know? Alpaca. I love alpaca. And you know, there are other lovely things like llama, like camel, but it's always what comes out on top, it always ends up alpaca for me. So that's what it is. I prefer it to cashmere. I prefer it to everything. But right next to alpaca is silk. So when I heard that she had a sock base with silk instead of nylon, I was like, tell me more about this. And so I did have a skein of this silk sock base already in the basket, which was my arms, but I just whooped it in because beachy and pretty and just, I think it's beautiful. And it's like classic beach, and not because it's more on the green side with the teal than the blue side. And I don't know. I snapped it. Literally. So let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about the yarn. It's 75% merino superwash, which some people are superwash fans and some people aren't. I like to be able to wash things. I need it to at least go in the washer. For 98% of what is in this house needs to be able to go in the washer. So I am a superwash fan. And 25% mulberry silk, 400 meters in 100 grams. And very important, and this is something, if you have wool in your yarn, don't use fabric softener on it. Don't. You know, I break all the rules with washing and that. If you see my reviews, I throw things in that are not supposed to go in. I throw things in the dryer. That is what I'm doing on a review and to test a sample. You never see me add fabric softener to wool. That's just, don't do it. Don't iron it. Don't do that to it either. So I did get it in 2 colorways because, as I said, in my arm basket, I already had this one. And, it's coming up a little brown, but it really is a red-black combination. And I did not buy a lot of red-black at WolleFest, but I was really being drawn. It kept catching my eye. I don't know if it's trendy right now. I know nothing about trendy. This is not the channel to follow for trendy. But in my own personal trend, I think I am moving into sort of this red-black, I don't want to say vampire-esque phase, but I have not been bit lately and there's nothing. But I just kept being drawn to, whether it was the bauble, whether it was hand-dyes, whatever. The reds and blacks were really calling my name, and they are good colors for me. So those are my 2 silk sock, which I probably won't use for socks. 90% of the time when I buy sock yarn, it's not even thinking about socks. But husband would like some knit wool socks. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And I did almost buy something in this store and another store with that in mind. And then I went, I think I'm at least a year away from trying socks. Maybe not this Christmas, but next Christmas. Yes, I just talked about Christmas 2026. Maybe then he'll get some wool socks, some knit wool socks. Because I think like crocheted wool socks are gonna be super thick, super thick. Anyway, those are those two. On her card, a little checkout gift. She gave me the card with 2 little stitch markers, which are really cute. I think I will use them as progress markers on my knitting. There's the focus. Okay. And then this one I picked up quite early in the process. We're starting to see these blacklight nibs. Nibs? Yeah, I think they're called nibs. Nips. In yarn. And I had I carried around a skein of black for like the 25 minutes, half an hour. I was trying to decide what I was going to purchase from the shop. And I want to make the youngest a hat because he has a scarf that I made out of a Temu yarn. It was supposed to just be a sample that ended up being donated, and he like claimed it. He's like, I want it. It's my scarf. It's blue. And at that point, he was very into blue, and now he's informed me, no, he's a rainbow boy. Okay, but you're still getting a blue sweater for Christmas because that's what you asked for, and that's what I bought the yarn for, and which he's okay with, but he also likes rainbow. So I thought, I mean, they're not rainbow, but they are multi-neon colored. And I was getting the black, and I thought they stood out best on black, and under the black light, the ones in the black seemed to glow the best. And then my mother reminded me that his winter coat is navy blue. And that black and navy blue, maybe not so much, and that the scarf is mostly navy blue. And so I switched and grabbed the navy. So this is the Donegal tweed. So it is 100% wool. Oh, okay. So are the nibs Donegal? Is it the nibs that are Donegal? Sorry, why am I going off into my head wondering? Because it's 85% merino and 15% Donegal. That's how they got Donegal so soft. But it does feel like this is merino. And maybe the silk is downplaying some of the wool. I don't know what the right words for it are. Anyways, it's also super wash, so I can wash it, up to 40 degrees. This is 30, okay. I use the wool cycle. I put it in the washer. Yeah, so 400 meters in 100 grams. Needle sizes 2.5 to 3.5 they're recommending. I think if you were knitting it, that sounds about right. I am going to crochet it because we are in hat and scarf weather here in Germany, and he needs his hat. And so if I need to make a hat in a day or two, it's going to be crochet. So that is that. And then I bought myself something. It's luscious. It is luscious. I'm just going to sit here. The rest of the video is just going to be me sitting here with the wool on my face. And it will be on my face because it's going to be a scarf, a pop of color. The color is called Angel Delight. Well, yes, it is. Is it the color or is it their series name? I think the series name is Angel Delight. It is lovely. It is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. And yes, it feels like that's what it is. It was more an investment, Hank. But I am going to make myself something nice with it. It was 26 euros. They are recommending hand wash, and I would iced tea. Why I'm drinking iced tea, you might ask, when it's freezing cold? Because I don't really favor hot tea unless I'm sick. So I'm drinking iced tea and my battery's going to die. So I better tell you about this yarn. 400 meters, 100 grams. They recommend hand wash and it is lovely. I love it. 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 And we decided this was probably the best color for me. And it'll be a nice pop when I'm wearing all black. Little pop of color. Little pop of color. Bring out the green in my eyes. Okay. You check out the next shop. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. I bought a lot. I bought a lot from them. Absolute new favorite. I'm going to go charge my battery. Check them out. is a lovely shop. I was so, I could have bought it all. I could have. So this is a lovely lady, comes out of Göttingen, which also has a special place in my heart. It's where my husband did his doctorate, and I spent some time there as a visiting professor, and some of our kids' godparents live there. So when I saw that, when I came home and made sure I was following them on Instagram, which I wasn't and am now, and saw that they came out of Göttingen, I was like, oh, even more special. I bought a lot. I bought a few things from this shop, and then I got a little gift at the end. I guess we were getting to the end of the week, and I was clearly very enthusiastic about the yarn. And you will be surprised. In what I bought, there was no alpaca, but there was a little movement towards it at the end, and then what I got as a nice little gift was alpaca. And I actually have a plan for my gift, and the rest of it, like little inklings. That's the other dog. That's the old lady dog. The 16-year-old dachshund. She wants her lunch. I'll see if I can get away with doing the yarn and then feed her. I might have to pause. The other thing I liked is in the bag for the purchases, they gave little lavender sacks. And you know, I have never, ever, ever worried about my yarn. Like, I know that there are some people that are very, very cautious about it, and I never have. I just, until I was in Italy recently and I had just bought wool, and I actually had moss come and land on my hand that was holding the bag of wool, and I was like, what the heck? I just had never sort of experienced the moth, and I'm like, really, this is a thing in homes? And so now I'm a little bit more like, they really go for the wool. They do. So I thought that was cool. And it's just the little lavender sacks too. And yeah, I won't probably put them in my wool stash. I'm allergic to lavender. You've been around, I'm allergic to everything. But to protect my wool, I can put it in with the wool and just close the lid. Anyway, Puppy, I'm talking. Yes, I still call her Puppy, even though she's 16. I've had her since she was 5 or 6 weeks old. She used to fit in my hand. It was so cute. Okay, yarn. You're here for the yarn, not for the puppies. I'm just gonna stop for a second and feed her so she'll stop barking, and then I will tell you about the yarn. Okay, fed the Brutus, she's happy. It's all good. I'm just going to randomly grab a skein and talk about it. I went green crazy in this store, and it wasn't intentional. It was just, green is my favorite color. Green is a very good color for me. I don't know with my glasses on if you can see, but this is basically the color my eyeballs are. I have very dark circles under my eyes. I am seeing that. Sorry. I'm old. I'm tired. It happens. And I think I forgot to put makeup on this morning. Add that to the old tired things. So this is Merino Silk Yak. It is a lace weight. And so I have 800 meters in this 100 gram hank. It is 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. It is beautiful. The colorway is Waldtinte. And they recommend hand wash. and to wash separately the first time you wash something. That is a good practice in general when you're dealing with hand-dyed yarns. They do the best they can to sort of seal in everything and wash the water clean and that, but you can always get a little bit of dye transfer. It's usually a good practice anytime you buy something new, especially with saturated colors. So it is super soft. It is both squishy soft and silky soft. I just loved it. I love the color. This is my favorite color. This is my favorite color right here. And it's beautiful. It's a lace weight, and you know I love my thin weights. I will do something magnificent with it someday. But for now, it is going to go on my wall, and I'm going to look at it and be like, dang, that's beautiful yarn. And I kind of bought literally by feel at this store. I just... the next yarn, I bought the same yarn in 2 different weights because they were the 2 colors that I loved, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I love them together as well. I'll show them. Show us the yarn. Yes, so aren't those beautiful together? I just love them together, but this is lace weight, and this is a little thicker. Can you see if I get my face out of there? Focus. Focus, camera, focus. They don't look that different, really. So the pink has 400 meters in it, 400 grams, and the green has 600 meters. So they look very similar, but this one must really be a lace weight, and this one is closer to a sport weight. But I'm trying to think about, can I figure it out to use them for something beautiful together, because I really like the combination. And I believe, like, I'm pretty sure this is the same. Yeah, it's 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. So it is the same. Yeah. It's the same base, just in a different weight. But it's just so pretty together. I can't even really hold one, like the green double, because then it would be thicker than the other. I don't know. I may just go with it. What is this colorway? I can't read it. Something rosé. I've used sort of a handwriting font, and I can't read it. But something rosé. And then this is Graugrün Posy. Graugrün is gray-green. But I think it's Posy. I don't know. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful. Same wash recommendations. I may risk it and still put them together, even though they're different weights. I might play with it and see, but for a while they're going to sit, and I'm just going to enjoy looking at them, because sometimes I like to do that. Sometimes I like yarn as art. And speaking of art, okay, people, I did this for you. This one in this color, and only this color, was available already done as a cake. would take up less room. And if you know me at all, you know I hate making cakes. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that hanks are the IKEA furniture of the yarn world. And that the idea that the most exclusive, highest end yarn comes in do-it-yourself fashion, that bothers me. But the cake did not look as cool as this hank looks. So I bit the bullet and I picked up the hank knowing that I am going to hate the process of turning this into a cake. But I did it for you. Because, come on, this is fun. Looks fun. I know it's not going to be fun to cake up. And I should have grabbed the cake, but I didn't. But this is just cool. In the video you saw it, and then right after I showed it on the shelf, I showed the shawl that was made in two colors. It's sort of a pink and a taupey cream color. And it felt lovely. It felt better worked up than it does even in the hank, but it looks like mohair. It's not. It's not mohair, and it's much softer than any mohair that I've felt. This is called a baby yak cloud. And I believe that the shawl that I showed is just this. It wasn't held with something. So this is 42% baby alpaca, 13% merino, 10% yak, and 35% silk. It's 50 grams for 400 meters, and the color is jade shutton, which is like jade treasure. And that seems about right to me. I want to make just like a fluffy, lacy scarfette with it. Maybe it won't be as bad to cake up as I'm fearing. I can see it's properly hanged. You're worth it. You're worth it to me. But isn't this more fun to look at than a cake? Tell me yes, because otherwise I'm going to regret it. I just think fun, lacy, fuzzy. And part of the reason I haven't made one is because so often they're done with mohair and it's scratchy. And I don't want something on my neck that's scratchy. And I always think, you know, when I'm wanting to pull a color that is not my color or wanting to grab a yarn that's scratchy, I'm like, I can always wear it with a black turtleneck. I don't even own a black turtleneck. I own no turtlenecks at this point in my life. I did used to do stuff like that, but I don't really like something here, I find. Like even when I have a scarf on, it is really more decorative and it sort of hangs down away from my neck. So I don't know who I'm fooling with this. I'll wear a black turtleneck that I don't own. But so those are what I bought. And then I was, I had grabbed two of these little minis. I've been looking at a full hank in this colorway. Though it wasn't, I think it was sock yarn. But it was this blend of colors and I was like, I love that sort of, it is a subtle variegation, but with these neons and fur color work. Like I just picture a really deep navy sweater with the color work done in something like this. It would just pop. It doesn't matter if you can wear these neon colors or not, or at least for me, if the base color of the sweater is, say, navy or black or something that I can wear. And I love that variegated look in the color work. So I think I had pulled these two or maybe these two, thinking that was probably enough to do just a little pop of color work. And they are alpaca sport minis. So I did get the alpaca in there, 65% alpaca, 35% merino, and it has on it 17.5 microns. I love that. So they're 20 grams for 60 meters. So I was thinking, okay, that gives me sort of like a skein, what you'd get in sort of a 50-gram hank, donut, whatever, as far as meterage. And then when I was checking out, she gave me 2 more. So that is definitely enough to do any kind of color work, pop of color. And even with the lighter one, I could do it this way and almost like a fade in the variegation. I just love it. I'm so excited about it. I want to start making this sweater that I had no plans to make before going to WolleFest. This is what I mean. I want the yarn to talk to me and tell me what it wants to be. And this wants to be color work on a navy sweater for me. And that is what it will be, my friends, one day, because there's still about 1,800 Christmas makes to make before I can make myself a sweater. But I also like that these tags are on with these light bulb stitch markers. It's very cool. And as you know, the safety pin and light bulb, whatever you want to call them, are my favorite stitch markers. Okay, we have one more. I know you have been hanging with me like your entire day. Cool, thanks. One more. And it is Zauber Maus Wolle. And you know, I love everything she does. So let's check out her shop. We've come to the final shop, and I'm sorry that I couldn't really get everything in. Her booth was quite busy most of the day. I actually came 3 times before I was able to ask if I could film and get a chance to talk to Vanessa. And so, yeah, so I hope you did get to see a little bit more. I knew that she had a brick and mortar yarn shop. I have always ordered through her Etsy shop. And I think I will, in the future, order directly from her now that I know that she has her own sort of website and shop that you can purchase from. I will put all of that stuff, everything I know about all of these shops, I will put in the description box, Instagrams, Facebooks, whatever I can. And then I also made sure as I was going through that business cards or QR codes or any of that was on the video. So you could always pause the video and take a screenshot for that. But I bet you're expecting her famous baubles to be shown to you in this section here, and you'll be surprised, because what I didn't know until I was there is she has hand-dyed yarn. I didn't know. Because she is such a talented artist, all self-taught, I learned. I just associate her with these magnificent baubles that she mirrors on famous works of art. I didn't even realize that she's also a hand dyer. So I indulged in some of her hand-dyed hanks, one of which is super surprising for me if you know me, and that's this one here. It's coming out a little bit more red on camera than it is actually. A little bit more red, a little bit more orange, and it does tend to go a little more to the pink of my sweater and this shade of pink, but there are sort of these red and orange undertones in it. And what I was just talking about with the minis from the last shop is why I bought this particular hank. It is much more rustic than I usually go. It is a merino sock weight with the 75-25 merino polyamide blend, and it is a super wash, but she has the microns on here, and they're 28 microns. And you know that I try to stay out of the 20s when it comes to microns, but I do know for color work and that a more rustic wool can work better. So it is, let me tell you the rest of it. It's 100 grams for 420 meters. It says it's not free, which is very nice to see in here. It's mulesing free, and the gauge is 40 rows and 30 stitches for a 10 by 10 centimeter square. I like that it's written out, so I know that I'm not getting it wrong. It's not there in a graph, but I think I'm starting to read the graph correctly. Needle size recommendation 2.5 to 3 millimeters. Seems right for sock yarn. And yeah. So, oh, it does say hand wash, no dryer, lie it flat. And this one was 13 euros. But I just thought the colors were beautiful. I thought it would work really nicely as that color pop on like a black and like a black. Whereas the pink I want to put with navy, I think I'd like to put this with a black. I have neither base color for either of those sweaters that I'm talking about. I bought the color pop to go in them before the yarn to make a sweater. So that will be fun. That will be interesting. Anyway, that will come. And the other one will be absolutely no surprise to anyone. I did buy a hank of the alpaca silk in a greeny bluey with some gray colorway. This is also 100 grams, but for 400 meters, also not free, superwash. So it's 50% wool, 30% alpaca, 20% silk. Same needle size recommendation. Also mulesing free, 22 microns. Now we're talking my love language of microns. Same gauge swatch. So we're talking about the same weight of yarn, just very different composition. Super soft, love it. This was $19.50, so very reasonable price for these yarns. Same washing instructions. And that's what I was buying. And I was checking out and I was talking to her, and like 11 o'clock the night before, I'd come home from Croatia, and I had only been speaking English for just over 2 weeks. And so going to WolleFest and doing it all in German was a little bit of like an exam that I hadn't studied for. And I was saying, yeah, I feel like I'm reaching for it. And so we got talking about English and German, and she was saying, well, the English is difficult for her. And I said, well, you're German, living in Germany, working in Germany. She's like, yeah, but I've got a lot of American orders lately. And she's like, I know that some of them have been coming from your videos and you talking about how much you love my yarn. And I was like, that's great. I'm really, really happy to hear that. She will ship worldwide. So no matter where you are, you can get Zaubermauswolle yarn. And she said, I have something for you. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. For me, it's just encouraging that somebody's watching my videos, but I'm not just talking to myself here week after week, which I probably would do. You know, nobody else wants to talk yarn to me. I'll talk yarn to myself. But then she brought me this cake. This cake is not available in her store yet. This cake hasn't been released, but if you know about her cakes, and if you've watched any of my videos where I mention her, I explain, she takes famous works of art. This one here is Monet's Water Lilies, and pulls the colors from the paintings, and then sort of like you can see that Monet, the fluidity of a Monet in the way in which she's pulled these colors together. You know, it's very different than your standard bauble, where you get sort of 4 colors that transition from one to the next by, you know, slowly alternating the color into the 4 or 3 separate strands of yarn. That is not what she does. I mean, this is why I'm like, she must have studied art or something, but she didn't. She studied building engineering. Like she's an incredible lady. Really is. So this is 50% cotton, 50% polyacrylic. It is a 4-ply, which means there are 4 separate threads here that make your color. Recommending 3 to 4 millimeter needles. I tend to work somewhere between a 4 and a 5 millimeter crochet hook with baubles, because I think you get such nice drape and such a lacy effect. with that. But do keep in mind, I have very tight tension when I crochet. So that for somebody else, that might be too large a hook. If you tend to be on the tighter side like I am, that's where I fall. That's where I fall. You can wash in the washer 30 degrees. Say not to put it in the dryer. I have. And it was fine, but I don't I don't put my makes in. I just did a little sample. And so she's got all kinds. Like if you have a favorite artist, she probably makes baubles based on their work. Like she's Monet, Van Gogh, Renoir, Pizarro, a lot. So this one is coming. I'll show you the other side too. And I mean, you can see, if you know the painting, you can see it in this bauble. I mean, you can see Monet's water lilies in that bauble. I'm just going to let you look at it for a minute. I'm just going to leave it there for a moment to just appreciate the beauty. And I wasn't buying baubles, not because, as you know, I love them. I've made that perfectly clear. But I have so many sitting on my shelf in my little art display of yarn that may or may not get used. And hers, I think, are art. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are some that I will never use. I will just keep them as art pieces in my office as if I would hang the actual painting there. But I was like, you have a good collection and you haven't worked through them, and there's really no other space on that shelf at the moment. And then she was just so kind. I mean, that was such a nice thing to do. And I get to show you. Look for it. Wait for it. Give yourself a Christmas present. And make up a few more while you're in there because, it's clear that I love her stuff. There's QR code. Zabur Masvola. So that's it. That's it. What are we? An hour and a half, 2 hours later? It was like he went with me because it's basically a play-by-play. There were people who were not there actually at the event for 2 full hours. There was a lineup to pay for the parking and they're like, oh, do we need 2 hours? And I'm thinking, yes. I mean, I wasn't with them. I was just in line behind them. But I'm like, how could you do a wool festival in under 2 hours? But I can't do a wool video in under 2 hours about it. But there was just so much goodness there. Like, it was just a really, really fun, enjoyable day. Just chatting to other people who love yarn, just getting to feel and squish. And there's nothing better than that. Even the commercial yarns that maybe I hadn't actually seen in person before, that know a lot about and heard a lot about, but to actually get to touch them, there's nothing better than that. So highly, highly recommend WolleFest if you ever have the opportunity to go to one. And as I said, it moves around the country on various weekends in various parts. So if you are on vacation in Germany, it's certainly something you could invest 2 hours in if you have a little more self-control than I do. It's great. I look forward to going next year. I'm looking forward to the larger one in Leipzig around Easter. I have some new favorites and some more shops to keep my eyes on online. And yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. And if you have stayed in for this long haul video, I hope you were working on a project and had something to drink. If you are still here, why not go ahead and do all the YouTube stuff, the subscribing, the liking, the commenting. Oh, I love to read the comments. And I always interact with the comments because that's even better than talking to myself about yarn for 2 hours. So do all that YouTube stuff. It doesn't cost you anything. It does help me, and does help all these lovely small business owners get that word out about them and how great they are. Because really, there was some really great high quality stuff. And yeah, so I got some work to do. Some making, some organizing, putting them into my stash. And I should go do that. And you should go do something else with your day or watch another one of my videos that you haven't seen. And in the meantime, until I see you again, friends, happy stitching.